Okay, this is sort of an overview of the system. Bit gargantuan, I admit. Yeah, I'll just zoom it in a bit more if I can, which I can't. I'm holding it, I'm hand holding it at the moment just to try and experiment with this. So that's the system. I've got to get this surface at right angles. I've got to get the whole thing sort of at right angles to the plane, exactly the same way as I set it up on the surface plate. So we've got to get this correct. Then we've got to get the center line of we've got to get this center line of this fixture on the center line of the lathe. So that'll be the next fun thing. Right, I'll just stop you there just for a second. Okay, I think I've got it, so I can show you how I've got, you know, how you work it. I've got the center roughly on the point of the center of the fixture, so that means that the hardened pads are going to be roughly, you know, around the center of the work. And I've got to do some more work on this nut. It's bloody hard to tighten it up when everything else is in the way, so that's a bit of a pain. But anyway, I think I've got it. I'll have to perfect it, you know. It's a bit painful at the moment setting it up, but filming it and setting it all up is a bit of a nightmare, but I think it'll be quicker once I get the swing of it. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment. I've got the center of the hardened pads around the center of the axis. I've got the pads roughly in the middle. You know, it's not too bad. Now if I just withdraw this, okay, I've got it roughly square, you know, on here. It's not too bad. Okay, take this out the way. Dear. A bit of a nightmare, isn't it? Okay, I've got it roughly positioned now and locked into place. Now I've got to take this the setting plate off so that it actually can function. Right, give me a couple of minutes to do that. Okay, I put a 25mm piece of silver steel in there. I've measured it and it's pretty nigh on perfect. I've got my little knob on the side here that opens up the jaws, just a little small amount, like a little cam just in there. So that's opened up sort of opened up the jaws a little bit, and then I can use this little plunger here to swing it up out the way, and then we can that's it, lock that in place on that little thumb screw. And then if I look at the dial, the jaws are open at the moment. Now if I turn the cam, I don't know whether you can see that, it doesn't sort of go very well, does it? Anyway, I don't know whether you can see it there properly. but it's dead on naught. Yeah, it doesn't deviate, so it looks as though it's going to be pretty good. Yeah, so every time I want to just move away, I can push my little spacing device. It goes in this little slot here. So look, there we are. And then I just press that, move, swing it out of the way, then I can load my work and what have you, and then I'll move the grinding wheel in. I've got that roughly forward. I think I've got it too far forward actually. I can go back a bit, the whole lot. Anyway, that's what it is. A bit of a monstrosity, to be honest. I mean, it's a bit of a walloper, great thing, isn't it, to be honest. But anyway, that's the material I had. I think if you're going to make another version, you'd have to thin the whole thing down, use much smaller material, and I think you could still get the same effect. It rather hinges, the whole thing, on the no movement, no axial movement this way, and I've achieved that with using this little cube in there with 2 deep groove ball bearings preloaded against each other with an inner spacer, so that you can adjust it so you can get the preload, so when they're squeezed together with a nut and bolt going through, you get rid of all play, and that's what we got now. We haven't got any play in there, but it's nice and free. And this little cap is held with 2 screws. Yeah, 2 screws there and there, and that seals it all off, keeps muck all away. I've got to make a guard plate that'll go in there, keep the worst of the grinding muck off of it. If I want to be in, at the moment it's external gauging. If I want internal gauging, I take those 2 screws out, reverse it so that that spring is over there, put them back in again, so move it 180 degrees, and now it's working in the opposite direction. That actually might work. Anyway, not too bad. You can't see that dial, but it very well. But it's not moving one little bit, you know, so it's pretty accurate. Looks as though it's going to be pretty damn good. And when you're grinding, I've got to have my tool post grinder up here somewhere. Take that off and then it goes on there. I reckon I'll be able to do it. Because before it was like a nightmare. You know, you grind a bit, stop, measure it, grind a bit, you know. This way I should be able to get it almost there, just take one reading right at the end, and happiness all round. Yeah, bloody good. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you soon.